Hello and welcome to the episode 3 of Parents Who Game podcast. My name is Ivona Nikolic and today our guest is Josh aka Lumos. Lumos is a husband and a father of 4, a competitive Pokémon TCG player and a lover of card games overall. Lumos is a huge Harry Potter, Star Wars and anime fan and an overall nerd with a bunch of cool tattoos. Lumos is currently a content creator and co-founder of the Shiny Lab, a Pokémon GO dedicated channel on YouTube and Twitch. Apart from creating gaming content, Lumos has worked in retail sales management for over 15 years, specifically in cellular phone sales. Hi Lumos, and welcome to the show. I'm so happy to have you here today with us, and thank you so much for taking the time to come to the show.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm glad. This is something new for me, and I think a new thing for a lot of other people, especially parents who are gamers as well. Basically, what we're doing here is we're trying to give them some tips on time management, how they can balance their life and their family, and how they can basically live normal lives while still continuing to do what they're passionate about.
Absolutely.
So, can you tell me when did you first start to actually play games? And do you remember some of the first games that you played?
Definitely. I mean, I've been playing games since I was, really young, as probably 4 or 5 years old, I would say, playing the original Nintendo games on original NES, like Super Mario, I guess just original Mario as well. Original Zelda games, I was a big fan of. I have a couple Zelda tattoos
Oh, nice.
because of my passion for those types of games. But yeah, that's definitely like where it all started, and it just continued to grow from there. I would say probably what hooked me the most was Pokemon, like falling in love with that game at like the age of 10 when the franchise first started, and then like being able to continue to play it and like show that to my kids and have them be a part of that world is really, really cool as well.
That is super nice. So, how does that differ, or does it differ at all from the games that you play today? What do you enjoy these days?
Definitely still play a ton of Pokemon, with the Pokemon Go channel being like my main focus right now. So Pokemon Go gets a lot of my time, but I still love playing Hearthstone. A lot of your viewers will probably know me from my Hearthstone streaming days. I just love card games, the strategy and like coming up with different things. And I've become really into Battlegrounds recently.
Oh,
Like I
right.
just been playing so much Battlegrounds. I remember like watching you early on playing like the auto battler type stuff like that too,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
it just always intrigued me, but I wasn't sure I would enjoy it, and I'm definitely loving it.
Yeah, it's a new thing for all of us, but I'm kind of happy the genre has kind of made it through and gotten so much people involved.
Yeah, and I feel like you don't tilt as much with those types of games because you know that there's a lot of RNG involved in it. So if you lose, you lose. You just try your best.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. There's always that variance between RNG and different card games, but Battlegrounds really just kind of make you feel like it's not all your fault when you
Yeah,
lose.
yeah, absolutely.
So, tell me a little bit more about your life as a parent slash content creator slash streamer. Like, how does it all fuse together? And what's your biggest challenge when it comes to your content creation and family world basically fusing?
I would definitely say it's time management. It's 100, being a parent and being a content creator specifically. Like, I feel like you can always find time for gaming because once the kids are asleep, I do spend a lot of time like gaming in the evening, or early morning, some would say, like sometimes till 2, 3 in the morning, I'll be gaming. But like with the channel and like doing the YouTube and trying to balance that, like, and finding time to record, I find that to be the most difficult thing, like to balance my family time with work and content creation. It's hard to do sometimes, but you just got to make it work.
Yeah.
I think keeping a strict schedule, trying to make sure that like you put those things like in my calendar and my phone so that I'm reminded of them, that helps me a lot with trying to balance it.
Yeah, that's a really good way. And you're right, the point that you made about the content creation. Like sometimes you can play games when you're tired, but when you want to create content for others, for example, for YouTube, you just kind of have to be fresh and have to actually put the time into video editing, into recording them properly. You can't just be tired in front of the camera and say, like, sorry,
Yep.
viewers, I'm uploading this YouTube video, but I'm really tired. It is like past midnight over here for me, and I totally understand this whole time management thing. My kid has just recently gone to bed, and I totally can relate to what you were saying about just waiting till they're asleep and then actually trying to produce some valuable content for viewers while still being there for your kids pretty much 24/7.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, when it comes to basically your family and your gaming world integrating, do they integrate at all? Like, do your kids and maybe your partner do they participate in your gaming world? Are they supportive of your content creation? How does that work?
So yeah, I mean, I guess I'll start with my kids. My oldest boy is very into Pokemon, specifically the card game, and I think that that's something that I'm definitely, as a father who's played those games his whole life, it definitely means a lot to see him
Yeah,
like fall in love with that same passion that I
that's
had.
nice.
So that's definitely really cool. Most of my other kids are pretty young, but they're definitely like they love watching me play the games. So they'll stand here like by my side, tell me, encourage me and things like that. Like
Aw.
it's definitely really cool to see them just get excited. My son Liam, who is my youngest boy, he gets very, very upset if I die or if I lose in a match, to the point where he'll actually start crying.
Aw.
And I always have to tell him it's only a game. You lose some and you win some. It's fine. We'll play one more and it'll be okay. Everything will be all right. So sometimes I'll do that with him.
Oh, that's
Um,
so sweet.
yeah, he's definitely my most emotional one for sure.
How old is he
Um,
when he reacts?
he's almost 4 years old, so he
Oh, I
definitely like
see.
he's full walking and talking, and he's a little man, but he's definitely got a little bit of more of a soft side, and I think he gets that from me. I've always been like I was never afraid to cry or anything. I may look like a tough guy with all these tattoos, but I was never afraid to cry or be upset and show emotion. It's definitely like there's so many emotional, spectrum.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's definitely, something that I try to, have my kids replicate as well.
Yeah, I mean, thanks
Um,
for sharing that on the show. And this show is, in a way, about breaking all the prejudice. So that's why I'm glad that you mentioned it. A lot of people are prejudiced about parents who game. They think they're not good parents, that they don't take time to dedicate to their kids, that they're not there for their partners. But the point is not just for parents to learn about time management, but for other people to see that we're also good parents, that we take the time to take care of our young ones, and then we still have the time to dedicate to ourselves. And hopefully this content will help people make the time for themselves to do that. Overall, I think it's really nice that you're there for them as a figure who can also not just participate in the gaming world itself, but explain it a little bit, because it is easy as a young child to just get pushed into being triggered after every game and have this angry mentality. And when you have a parent who tells you that it's only a game and that they should remain calm when they lose and that it's okay, that they should be having fun, I think that is actually super useful, because today I believe that most kids will inevitably play some games. And this is a sort of an education for them, in my opinion, just having someone to calm them down and to explain the feelings that they're going through.
Telling them it's fun, I think, is one of the biggest things that, it's always fun. Like it's always, if you lose sometimes, it was still fun. Like the getting to that point was fun, and we're gonna do it again. We're gonna go back in. That's the nice thing about video games. When you die in a video game, you can still play again. You can come back and you can do it over again. And I think that's super important for them to understand.
Yeah, yeah, they don't take it tragically as
Hmm.
tragically as they used to when someone gets to that point. That's definitely true. But
Yeah.
speaking of time management, what would be your number one tip on how to actually balance it? Like, how do you make it work in your family? Did you have to maybe give up on something in one world or another, or do you have some sort of a method of your own to basically make it work? Like full time job, kids, gaming, content creation.
Sure. So I definitely lay out a very strict schedule and I definitely make sacrifices. I say my biggest sacrifice is probably sleep. which I should get more of, but it's one of those things that I've tried to switch myself to more of what they call polyphasic sleep, which is taking like a 3 hour main session of sleep and then doing small 30-minute naps throughout the day when you can, preferably 2 to 3 of those. And it's worked for me for the past couple of years to help have more time in a day to maximize, what I'm doing with my content creation, balancing my family, and gaming all in one. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it, and putting all of those things into my phone. I think that helps me like with reminders and things, so I know things that are coming up and I don't lose track of like the important things, paying bills and whatnot.
Yeah, that's definitely important. And speaking actually of polyphasing sleep, I do know quite a bit about that because my husband and I actually tried it when our son was born, and we were optimistic enough to think that that would work with a newborn in the house because we found out about it and we were like, hey, this looks like it would fit. We get a little bit of sleep here and there. But it turned out that it didn't quite work for us because the baby was too young and like when it comes to polyphasing, I think you actually need to take the naps at the exact same time every day, or because your body gets used to it, and you can basically train yourself to go to sleep at a certain point of the day. And when you don't get the opportunity to sleep, then your body either just shuts down right there and then, regardless of what you do, or you don't get that nap, and basically you ruin the whole cycle. So I actually have to tip my imaginary hat to you for making that work because it is extremely difficult to get into polyphasing, but if you can make it work, then that is great for your productivity.
Yeah, definitely. And you do have those times where like you miss a nap, and man, like when I mean you pay for it, you pay for it. Like you crash super hard. There have been times where I sit down to watch a movie with my wife and we sit on the couch, we start the movie, and I'm not typically the one to fall asleep during movies. I love watching movies. I love watching TV shows, especially like nerdy superhero stuff and anime and things like that. And there are times that within 10 to 15 minutes in, I'm just knocked out cold. I wake up, my wife's already in bed, I'm still asleep on the couch. And it's just part of that type of sleep cycle. It unfortunately does happen from time to time when you lose those naps. Like even if you miss one, it affects you in a brutal way.
Yeah, it's super difficult. So that pretty much means that
Hmm.
sleep is also something to be put on schedule if you have to.
Yes, if you choose to do that type of sleep pattern, you definitely have to be on a very strict schedule with it. Otherwise, there are times where you'll spend like an 8 hour, what I mean, sleep session just
Yeah.
trying to get your body to catch up. Like you'll do a normal 8 hour sleep to just catch up on that lack of.
Yeah, and it happened actually to me a few times. And when I would wake up after that kind of night of long sleep, after, I don't know, weeks of polyphasing, I would just be
Hmm.
so tired. It would feel like I haven't slept at all. So you don't really feel like you've been catching up. So polyphasing
Hmm.
is not unhealthy. Many people think that that kind of lifestyle is unhealthy,
Hmm.
but if done properly, if done right, you are actually setting your body to follow those really deep sleep cycles that when you get them right, it's almost as if you've slept, I don't know, 10 hours a day. You are full of energy, you are super committed to what you're doing, you're present. But man, oh man, if you miss them naps, it gets really tough. So yeah, I
Yep, you pay
empathize with
for
that.
it.
You do, you do. So you've talked a little bit about your content creation. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? And if we have some viewers who are interested in finding you and your content on social media, how and where can they do that?
Sure. So again, originally I started with Hearthstone content creation, and recently I decided that it wasn't what I was really passionate about. I've always been super, super passionate about Pokemon, and I learned that I was forcing, that type of thing on myself. So I went to one of my best friends and I said, I want to start this channel. I've talked about doing Pokemon Go content since the game started, when some of the first channels were appearing on YouTube. I spoke to my wife about wanting to do something like that, and I kind of just put it on the back burner. So when I started doing it with Noah, I instantly realized that this is what I wanted to do: was stream Pokemon Go and create YouTube content live, out and about. and recording that and putting that out there for our viewers. You can find us everywhere at the Shiny Lab on almost all social media, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. I think our Instagram's a little different, it has an underscore at the end of the Shiny Lab.
Yeah, I'll put all those links in the description, by the way, so the viewers will be able to click on all of them. So yeah, if you're a viewer, you're not going to miss out on those.
Awesome.
Do you have like some like a streaming channel of your own or something? Like, is it under the Shiny Lab, or do you stream like independently on your Twitch?
No, we do have the Twitch channel. We haven't gone live on the Twitch channel yet, but it should actually, our first stream should actually probably be sometime next week. And it's a partnership with me and my best friend. So we had a mic issue with him. So I have my old Blue Yeti mic, and I will be bringing that to him, and then hopefully we can get those streams going.
Yeah, awesome. And I just have to quickly comment on how amazing and awesome it is that you have a best friend who you can share this kind of passion with. Primarily, my questions have been focusing on, your relationship with family and content creation, but having a best friend to go to who isn't necessarily your partner in marriage and talk about what you're most passionate about. I think that is truly precious and something that not a lot of people have. They usually have their best friends who they can't really talk to about gaming, about what they do on Twitch or YouTube. I have a few of those friends myself. I love them to death, but it's just really hard to talk about being a streamer and a YouTuber. So definitely, I think it's very valuable, and you should definitely cherish that. It's amazing.
Yeah, I definitely, I think I struggled with doing it myself. Not being able to have a conversation with a camera essentially was what I struggled with. Like just being able to talk to that camera. And I feel like when me and him got together, it really helped like piece that together. Like I was able to, he was able to critique me. I was able to critique him. And he also comes with a skill set, and as did I. So like he is very, very good with the editing end of things. I almost know nothing about editing. So I had this dream. I wanted to make this dream into a reality. And I had one of my closest friends had the ability to help kind of put that piece of the puzzle that I needed into place. And I just couldn't be happier. We're having so much fun doing it. I'm sure if you check out the videos, you guys will see, you can definitely see how excited I am when I'm playing Pokemon Go and out there. And it's definitely really, really rewarding at the end of the day when you edit, you get that content up and people get to see it and you get those positive comments, and it's just,
it's such a rush.
There's just nothing like it. It's a rush. It is. Yep.
It is, really is. And the fact that you two just kind of, fit into each other's maybe lacks of knowledge or experience, it's like you were born to be best friends. It's amazing how that happens. It's just like people find each other who just complete each other. I just think that's really, really nice, especially in this rough world where today everyone just expects to see the best content out there, the best videos, the best streams, and to have someone, first of all, to hold you accountable, because in content creation, that is really important. If you don't stream for about a week, someone will call you on the phone and be like, hey, why are you not streaming? Where's
Is everything okay?
Yeah, are you okay? Why are you not on Twitch? And someone to actually do the things that you maybe don't have the time for or that you don't know how to do, it is really precious. This is going to be it for this week of Parents Who Game podcast. Thank you so much for joining us, and thanks, Josh, for being our guest.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure being here.
I'm glad to hear that. And in case you want to find Josh, aka Lumos, on his social media, you can find all the links down below in the description. If you like this video, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like so more people can find it. Thank you all again so much. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!